Next up, I am to introduce our first Ingenuity winner. As I told you before, the purpose of the Ingenuity Award is an award given to some of the most innovative and creative individuals in our community who've had a tremendous impact on both schools. These individuals can come from the community, but as you will see later on today, can also come from our individual faculty. The key and operative word here is impact. The two individuals I'm going to bring up first, Landon Taylor and Foster Standback, representing Base 11, are some very interesting individuals. If you look forward in our community and you look at the grand challenges that are before us, you recognize that we have not only a significant challenge, but we're trying to solve this challenge with somewhere in the neighborhood of a little bit more than half of our population. Right now, if I look out in our communities, I see that somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 12% of underrepresented minorities participate in STEM and in engineering in particular, and somewhere around 20% of women participate in these same areas. And Base 11 is a nonprofit STEM workforce development and entrepreneurship accelerator organization that focuses on high ability, low resource youth, but youth from those very same communities, and helps them develop STEM entrepreneurship jobs, helps them either go to community colleges and come out of those community colleges with STEM degrees, helps them get into a 4-year institution with a focus in STEM, or it helps them become STEM entrepreneurs. We've gotten acquainted and engaged with Base 11 over the past 2 years, and they are just taking the nation by storm. I'm amazed about what I hear when I go out in the industry. They have programs now in Detroit and San Francisco. They're building the first ever drone port for these flying drones. They're building a drone port outside of Nevada, and they're integrally involved in the development and the promotion of our students. Most recently, they're helping to help us launch the first rocket to breach space. That's about 300 kilometers from a university. And we're in the process of building that now. We'll have our first test launch of an entity that will eclipse 50 to 100,000 feet this summer. And then in about a year and a half, we think we can breach the limits of space. And it's that kind of imagination, it's that kind of ingenuity, it is that kind of foresight that we believe will help the students of the future become, and help the country become what it needs to be as it moves forward. This Moonshot initiative will not only reestablish our rocketry program at UCI, but it will also inspire students from generations and generations to come. And then in addition to that, they also started off with engaging us by helping us develop a drone program where we help students from community colleges, from students in the community and our students develop autonomous systems and autonomous drones. We started the Autonomous Drone Academy 2 years ago with their help and their partnership. They established a Fab Lab facility at UCI to help commemorate that, and then also one now at Applied Innovation. And we're just excited about what the future holds, about what our partnership holds, and about the great things we're seeing coming out of our partnership. So without any further ado, I want to bring up Landon Taylor and Foster stand back from Base 11.
Well, thank you so much, and it's truly an honor to receive the Ingenuity Award, and I think largely because of the privilege there is to serve in a way where we're able to accelerate ingenuity in what we believe is the greatest asset in our country, which is our students. And in preparation for tonight, I looked up the word ingenuity, and I thought that the adjectives that it described in terms of some of the synonyms was very, very powerful, and certainly really speaks to what I've seen in the students here: inventiveness, creativity, imagination, innovation, enterprise, insight, perception. And so by fueling ingenuity in our students, I think we'll make certain that America will continue to be a beacon of light and innovation, and it'll ensure that we'll continue to be a beacon of light in diversity, ensuring that students from all walks of life will have the opportunity to reach their greatest potential and greatest impact. And so in closing, I want to thank, one, Dean Greg Washington and all of his staff, all the students at UCI. I want to thank my amazing wife, Michelle, who allows those late hours and all that travel, and all the students from UCI. And then finally, my friend, and candidly, the very first funding partner for Base 11 that really launched this movement that is now, as Greg mentioned, is now across the country, that really started as a brainstorming at a kitchen table, and now, as I said, is a movement across the country that includes, as Greg mentioned, this commitment to see UCI be the first university to launch a rocket into space. And Foster and I made a commitment to Greg when we were sitting together, saying that we commit to having UCI be put on the world stage as the most prominent university program in aerospace in the world. And thanks to your courageous leadership and all the faculty and students, I think you're well on the way. So I want to thank all of you and hand it over to Foster Stamp.
Thank you very much. This is a tremendous honor. I'm very grateful to the University of California, Irvine. Grateful to you, Greg, for your leadership. Landon, thank you for your friendship and partnership and this venture. And also my wife, who stood by my side, have been an incredible support to me. I would like to just share a brief story about the last project that Greg did mention, which is the Moonshot initiative to launch a rocket into space. When I first talked to Greg about it, he actually came over to an airplane hangar in Fullerton, and Landon and I pitched the idea to him. He was very intrigued about it, but wanted more data, wanted to meet with his professors and find out about what it would require. Was it feasible? Was it safe? So we called together a meeting, and we brought in an engineer from a major aerospace corporation, a rocket engineer and safety specialist. And so we sat there and we brainstormed for about half an hour. Greg heard everything he wanted to hear, and finally he just stopped the meeting and said, "You know what, guys, we're done here. I've heard enough. We're going to space." And I was just taken aback by his determination and commitment right there and then to do this. And that kind of visionary leadership and commitment is just so hard to find, and especially in academia, where things tend to move at a very slow pace. But thanks to Greg, things are steaming forward, and I'm convinced that UC Irvine will be the first university with a student group that puts a rocket into space. Thank you.
What Foster didn't tell you is that Yes, we want to be the first university to get to space, but we're 144,000 feet behind USC, who launched a 144,000-foot rocket not too long ago. So, students, we got some catching up to do. That being said, I'd like to bring forward now our new dean, and actually, I think this might be the last time that we'll say new dean. No, the honeymoon's almost over. I bring up the new dean of Information and Computer Sciences, Professor Marios Papathemiou. Actually, the honeymoon ended when I learned to pronounce the name properly. Dean Marios comes to us from the University of Michigan, another one of these Midwest transplants. We seem to be getting quite a few of them here, and we just bring them out to interview in February. It always works. And Marios is leading a great school that's just doing tremendous things and tremendous growth, and I look forward to the partnership and look forward to continued work together. So, Dean Marios.
Thank you, Greg. Hi, everyone. I am the new Dean for Information and Computer Sciences. It's a great pleasure and honor to introduce Gary Orson and Judith Orson, the recipients of the Ingenuity Award for the School of Information and Computer Sciences. Gary and Judy are at this point professors emeriti at the University of California, Irvine, Department of Informatics. Prior to coming to UCI, they were both on the faculty at the University of Michigan, where among many other things, they helped found the School of Information at the University of Michigan. They are founding members of the Collaboratory for Research on Electronic Work at the University of Michigan, and here at Irvine, the HANA Lab. For 30 years now, they've been uncovering the challenges of working together from geographically distributed locations. Their paper entitled Distance Matters, published in 2000, is their best known contribution to this domain. Since then, they've written an edited book on scientific collaboration on the internet, which was published by MIT Press in 2008, and a monograph on working together apart, published by Morgan and Claypool in 2015, developing these ideas further. Judith and Gary are pioneers in the fields of human-computer interaction and computer-supported cooperative work. They have been focusing, it's a long list of contributions, I need to warn you. They have been focusing on themes, scientific collaboration, intercultural communication, and collaborative writing. They developed the Collaboration Success Wizard, among several other contributions, which is a theory-driven tool for virtual teams to evaluate their own collaboration readiness and practices. Their list of awards is too long to go through in its entirety. Both Olsons are members of the CHI Academy. CHI stands for Computer-Human Interaction, and they jointly received the CHI Lifetime Achievement Award. Judith was named an ACMW Athena Lecturer. ACM is the Association for Computing Machinery, the main professional organization in the area of computing. And this award, this lectureship, is effectively recognizing the Woman of the Year in computer science. Gary received the CHI Lifetime Service Award. Both Gary and Judy are remarkable for their collegiality, their generosity. I also see here that they've been hosting amazing dinners at their house. I'm looking forward to some more of those dinners. And in the vein of keeping that spirit alive in the Department of Informatics, as those of you who were here earlier at the tail end of the celebration we had for Judith and Gary, they have made a very generous donation to the Department of Informatics to enhance climate and continue in perpetuity all the beautiful things that they have been contributing to the department for a decade now. Without further ado, Judith and Gary, please come to the podium.
This is a great honor to get the Ingenuity Award here. As you can, we don't normally dress like this. All right, we just came from a celebration of our retirement that had a Hawaiian theme, and it smells so good I can't take it off. I want to tell the little story about the we did spend 35 years at the University of Michigan doing a lot of work on collaboration, especially distance collaboration, which has a lot of challenges to it. But in 2007, we were about to retire from then, and we got a call from Gloria Mark in February 5th, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when at Michigan it was icing up outside. And she said, "We have 2 endowed chairs. Could you and Gary ever leave Michigan?" And we looked at each other, said, "We know a lot of people in the department. They are fantastic." And so in our general Midwestern way said, we could talk. And 2 years later, we were here. Thank you.
As all of you know, a life and in general and a career in particular, there are many points where we have to make decisions. And I think the decision we made in late 2007 to accept the offer to come to UCI has been one of the great decisions of our career. We had a wonderful 35 years at the University of Michigan. We weren't eager to leave, but the things that have happened since we came here have been just amazingly wonderful. The people, the colleagues in our department and in our school and in the university for that matter, and the students we've taught with either formally or informally have just had a wonderful impact on us. The thing I like best about being in a university is how much we learn. You know, we teach classes, but I learn maybe more from the students than they learn from me. And that's one of the real pleasures of being here. The gift that Mario's referred to, we do take very seriously the social part of academic life, and we do throw parties and host dinners and so forth. And we thought it was important that beyond our presence here, that there be some resources to make that easy to do. And so that was the kind of rationale behind the gift. We are honored to be recipients of this award and to have you here and celebrate with us. And we look forward to not disappearing, but changing the character of our engagement with the university. And so thank you, and zot, zot, zot.